All right, good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming to the second edition of the Fall Sports Banquet. Last week we were able to have our volleyball and girls golf banquet. We had to postpone the cross-country banquet, but we'll be able to have that next week. So this is edition number 2 of 3. Very fortunate to be here tonight. Of course, with everything going on, you just don't know from day to day what you're going to actually be able to have and what you're not. And we saw a lot of that during the fall season this year with football. Had a few games canceled. It's bizarre because the freshman schedule was the easiest of any, and it's usually the toughest. So it was kind of bizarre with football this year. Here in just a minute, I'm going to introduce our coaches. But before I do that, I'd like to invite Carissa Holst to the microphone. She's going to do the prayer for us tonight. So, Carissa, come on up.
Okay. Yeah, gentlemen, just remove your hats. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the amazing seasons we all had during this pandemic and allowing us all to push through. And thank you for the coaches and others who are willing to push through with us to make our seasons happen. Please continue to bless not only us, but all those who have been affected in some way. Amen.
Okay, good job, Carissa. Those of you who have been to banquets before, and we can't even really call this a banquet because of the fact that there is no food here, but those who have been to these before know that this is very different. Usually we're over in the cafeteria, we do a meal, and then we go about the recognition part of the night. Well, with everything going on, it was much more safe to have it over here tonight, and we were lucky that the district made it available for us, and of course we're here tonight and we're able to have this ceremony. And again, to tell you how lucky we are to be here, we were unable to have our winter banquets, and of course we didn't even have a spring season, so we had no spring banquets. So this is the first time that we've been able to do this in a year. I want to thank all the parents for coming tonight. You guys could have been doing a lot of things. The athletes as well. You know, this isn't something that you have to come to. You choose to come to it. So thank you for coming. This is a great kind of pinnacle of the season where at the very end we get to recognize all of our teams, but not just our teams, also the individuals. And it's a culmination. It's a great night because we get to celebrate all of our victories, whether those be small or big. And we all in some way, individually or as teams, had things to celebrate. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking tonight. I'm going to let the coaches do that. And speaking of coaches, I'm going to take just a minute to introduce them to you this evening. We're going to start to the far left. The handsome fella, you get to decide which one that is. The bald one is Coach Bonnell, Jared Bonnell. He is one of our 2 freshman football coaches. To his right, the other handsome one, that's Mr. Schwent, Cody Schwent. He is our other freshman football coach. Then you move to the big boy table. We've got in the black shirt there, that is Ryan Wyke. He is our defensive coordinator for our varsity football team. To his left is Kellen Bosler, our offensive coordinator for varsity. Across the table from him and one of many coaches we have that's a former athlete of mine, Kenny Rapp is one of our assistant football coaches who would normally do JV. We didn't have JV this year, but he still helped out like he normally would with the line and on varsity with Friday nights. So Kenny Rapp, assistant football coach. A sign of the times, we're missing 2 of our coaches, including our head coach. And, both of those guys, Coach Sherry and Coach Wyke, wanted to be here this evening, and they just simply couldn't. So, we'll be missing those guys tonight, but these guys are going to do a great job of filling in for them. To the table closest to me here is our spirit coaches, and to my far left there, Ashley Weiner is our assistant fall cheer coach. Coach Wiener. Then going counterclockwise there to the one in the middle there. That is Miss Dallas. She's got the Miss Dallas Rocks that she likes to brag about, even though she's had it for like 2 months.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I told everybody I bought her a muzzle, but she wears that anyway. So our head coach that not only takes care of cheer but also oversees our dance, our Emeralds dance program. So our head spirit coach is Shelly Dallas. And last but certainly not least, we have Ashley Kreider. She is in charge of the dance aspect, so she's our Emeralds dance coach. All right. So basically, we're going to start with our Emeralds first. She's going to get up and talk about her season, and then after that, we'll go to football, and we'll save the best for last, right, Coach Dallas? Do cheer? Yeah, you're last. All right. So without any further ado, the Emeralds program. Coach Kreider, come on up. So this evening, like we usually do at a banquet where you come up to the front, you'll do the same thing, athletes. So as Coach Kreider calls you guys up, come on up the stage on whatever side you're on, and you'll stand along the front of the stage so everybody can see you. So you guys be careful coming up the steps. Don't be the one that falls down.
Good evening. So I don't really know how these, I haven't done one myself. I've sat through a lot, so bear with me. Before I get started to bringing up my girls, I just want to take some time to thank everyone who made the season possible. Administrators for making sure the season was a success, that we were able to go to games, have people come, because a dance team would not be the same if they didn't get to perform. Parents, thank you so much for trusting me with your children. It was a big difference for me, and I had a lot to learn, and I learned a lot. So I wanted to thank all of you for being patient with me whenever I had to cancel practice because I couldn't make it, or just all the craziness that the season had in it. So thank you. I appreciate it so much. I was going to write this out, but I didn't, so bear with me. And I also want to thank people like our custodial staff, our concession stand workers, and everyone else, because I think they get overlooked way too much. And I really wanted to thank you guys. This season started pretty shaky because I was so new to everything. I've coached before, and I spent a lot of time on teams, but this is nothing like I had experienced before. So I learned a lot. First thing, this team was much quieter because I'm used to the cheerleaders, and they are way louder, and they talk way more. So I never got feedback from them. So it was a big adjustment. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the girls up that we have. We do have a couple missing. So my first one I want to bring up is Carissa Holst. Hey, the flowers are for her too. So each individual girl, I kind of made up my own award, and I was going to print them out, so I'm sorry. So this is just coming from the heart. For Carissa, I chose to give her a Miss Congeniality award. Whenever you Google the definition of Miss Congeniality, it's something along the line of a very friendly person who could win a contest for having the best personality should pop up. Carissa is always ready to learn, always ready to help others, and will do it with a smile on her face. Every game night, she was willing to help everyone with makeup, hair, and anything possible she could help with. I knew I could always count on her to know certain parts of a dance to help break it down for others. Carissa has been an all-around great asset to our team. The next girl I'm going to bring up is Kayla Luck. For Kayla, I decided she deserves the biggest heart award. Anytime we had a rough day in practice, anytime that we were just mentally drained from COVID, online classes, anything, you could rant to her about anything, and she would rant right back with you. And she would not even know what was going on. And it was just the sympathy that Kayla would give you was also an asset to our team because sometimes you lean on each other through hard times. In the beginning of the season, we were a little shaky because she had no idea who I was. She was very unsure of me, but it quickly got together, and I'm very happy with who you've become this season. My next is Chloe Wolk. However, she is not here tonight, right? Right. For Chloe, I decided to give her the Most Honest Award because through anything and everything, she would just give you the most honest opinion, and it was so helpful for a lot, especially for me, because I didn't understand a lot of things like the looks and stuff. I'm not hip anymore. So Chloe deserved the Most Honest Award. Next would be Addison Haney, but she is also not here. I chose to give Addison the Best Attitude because every day, whenever she came through to practice, and she was a freshman, so she didn't get to drive, so it was a lot harder. Every day she came into practice with a really big smile on her face. She knew her material. She was just the most prepared. So she definitely deserved the Best Attitude. And lastly is Abigail Gibson. I don't think she's not here. I gave her the Quiet Mouse Award because she never talks ever. Super, super quiet. So I picked out 3 awards for our season, and these were strictly voted on the team. I pulled it from a Google form, and this is what the team felt, and I couldn't agree with them more. My first award would have been Most Improved, and that would have gone to Addison Haney. I think Haney. Yeah, she improved tremendously whenever we first started our season, and I wish she could have been here. My next award was Best Technique, and it goes to Kayla Luck. Kayla spent a lot of time helping our other girls who did not have dance classes really perfect the loops. I don't remember what they're called because I'm not even in practice anymore. But Kayla was essential to helping us, especially me. She helped me learn a lot. So Best Technique was Kayla. And my next award is Miss Emerald, and that goes to Carissa Holst. Carissa has always been all around a great individual to have on the team, and Miss Emerald is about always having your stuff, having extra stuff, always being there to help other girls. She offered rides. She would go out of her way, and that's my definition of a Miss Emerald. So this is it. Thanks, girls.
All right, I said I wasn't going to talk much, but I am going to talk just a little bit. A few thank yous that I wanted to do. A lot of the coaches are going to cover a lot of the thank yous with media and people who volunteer to help out at the games and so forth. And honestly, we could stand up here all night and thank all the people who cooked at the games, worked concessions, worked clock, did things like that. But I wanted to take just a minute to thank a few people. Our custodians, you know, when you guys come to a football game and there's hundreds, and in most years, sometimes more than 1,000 people there, you've got things in the bleachers and a big mess to clean up, and they always do a great job to make our facility, which is one of the nicer facilities in the area, they keep it looking good. So Brian Kreider and his staff do a great job cleaning up after our events. Wanted to thank admin. You know, we have a great admin team here, and they support me and help me throughout the course of a school year with all the sports that we have. So I wanted to thank Mr. Haney, Dr. Boyd, and all of our admin team at district office and so forth. What a lot of people don't know is that our entire administrative team, from the elementary admin all the way up through district office, are all here for home football games. So you're looking at 12 or 13 administrators that are here on a regular Friday night. I want to thank my family because they have to have a lot of patience with this job, and I want to thank them just for being patient and being great. Concession workers, a lot of you guys worked concessions for me this year. You know, we couldn't do it without you guys, and that kind of brings me to my next point. If you look up on the screens here, there's a link there, a website. As of right now, we have less than half of our winter concession spots filled. We have tomorrow night, we have a home jamboree that's going to be a really quick event, and I've got one person signed up out of 3 spots. Next Wednesday, we have our first home girls basketball game. I have 0 signed up right now. So, again, I have less than half of those spots filled. A lot of you guys do more than one event. You know, while I was sitting over there, I get an email every time somebody signs up to work concession stand, and somebody's already signed up this evening, and I thank you. But if you haven't already signed up for winter concessions, all we ask is that you do one. If everybody did one, we actually wouldn't even have enough spots for everybody. But unfortunately, that isn't ever the case, and we end up having the same people work 2, 3, 4 times a season. So thank you to those who have worked. If you haven't, or if you haven't signed up for any winter concessions, please sign up for just one. The link is there. It's easy to sign up. You get it sent a reminder email that says, hey, you're signed up to work. You do it one time, and you're done. And that money goes to our booster club, who pays for these banquets, who pays for 4 scholarships for seniors every year. They buy equipment for all of our sports programs. Our sports boosters do a lot, and, of course, a lot of that money comes from our concession stands. So one last time, if you could, please sign up to work concessions at least just one time. Speaking of that, at the end of each season, so we just finished the fall concession season, so to speak, and we put all the names in the hat. So every time somebody worked, their name went in the hat. If they worked 4 times, it went in 4 times. If they worked once, it went in once. And we did a drawing, and we drew 4 names, and 4 people won $25 gift cards to Amazon. So, you know, there's another chance. If you work, you get a chance to win a $25 gift card as well. It's just a sort of a thank you to you guys for doing that. And one final thank you before I turn it over to our football coaches. We'll start with our freshman football coaches. But I want to thank our booster officers. You know, they work tirelessly. They work completely volunteer. There's no benefit to them at all. There's no pay or anything. They go to the meetings. They help run these banquets. You saw them out in the commons, or not the commons, but you saw them out in the lobby when you came in tonight. They also help set up concessions and get it rolling for whoever's working. Our booster officers are Rob Coleman, Andrea Fritsch, Christy Fleeman, Laura Hunter, and Deanne Squires. So a nice round of applause for those booster officers. I try to make it as easy as I can for them so they stick with it, but it is a lot, and I appreciate everything that they do. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to our freshman coaches. Are you guys both going to talk, or just one of you? Just one of you. Don't you always do the talking? I guess Coach Bonnell saves all his for wrestling. Yeah, he talks for like 50 minutes at wrestling. So, no, but we love every second of it, Coach Bonnell. So, Coach Schwent, you're going to come up and talk about the freshmen. And remember, when he calls you guys up here, you just stand up and line up along the front of the stage. Don't fall off.
No, I'm just happy Sherry's not here to roast me tonight. That's a first. So I'm going to talk a little bit, and then I'll call you boys up. Coach Bonnell will be at one of the ends of the stairs, so just come around and line up. So before I call the boys up, I'd just like to say thanks to Dr. Nix for always being so supportive of what Jared and I try to accomplish year in and year out. And as he already alluded to, most of the time that's fixing our schedule, making sure we get 7 or 8 games or whatever. I think it did help that the JV season couldn't really work out, and some teams wanted to still play us at the freshman level. So I want to thank the parents for their positivity throughout this season. Please keep that moving forward, because your support makes our job so much easier and enjoyable, and we can't thank you enough for that. And it shows with your boys also. I would also like to thank Jared and I's families for putting up with how often we are gone throughout the season and dealing with our grumpy butts after games. Also, while I have the chance, I want to thank the senior football players who played this year. When many of your classmates gave up on a sport that takes a lot of commitment, you didn't. You could have easily looked at the young squad around you and the bad start that we got off to, and you could have got negative or gave up, but you didn't. Juniors, seniors, and freshmen, these guys played for you. I don't think they played because they thought we were going to necessarily win state or even our district, but they gave us a shot to be a couple of touchdowns and a random forfeit away from being district champions with an extremely young group. So once again, thank you, and I respect the heck out of each of you for sticking with it, and I know these younger guys do too. So now I'm going to, yeah, you can clap for them. So now I'll call up our guys. Got a couple of managers. I don't know if they came tonight. Noah Baker, Vinny Baga. Those guys helped us out immensely. Those water bottles were not an easy job this year. So Ian Allen, Caden Allgaier, Russell Clayton. Yeah. John Clinton, Aiden Eisenbeis, Jack Farlow, Alex Fleeman, right in front of everybody, Hayden Ford, Gage Gross. That's a beast right there. Zach Henderson. Nathan Johnson. Wyatt Kemper. Dalton McBride. Aiden Meyer. Tyler Moyers. Mason Nix. Adam Oder. Tucker Reed. Bryant Schwent. Justin Schwent. Wyatt Springcamper. Gage Stevens. Anthony West. Aiden White. Gabe Willard. Caleb Wilson. All right, so for a bunch of guys who can't drive, I was expecting not as many of you to be here, so thank you. I appreciate that. So these guys went 7-1 this year, outscoring teams 257 to 124. And if I could have just mustered up one more touchdown, they would have been undefeated. So sorry about that, guys. This was a fun group, maybe too fun at times, as Coach Bonnell likes to put it, but they're getting there. They're growing up quickly. But honestly, we had a great time getting to be around them every day. Well, unless it was a defensive day and Springcamper was shutting me down every single time I tried to trick him. We don't really keep stats on every freshman season, but Wyatt definitely has the record for most temper tantrums caused on the scout team quarterback, which was me. But he did a great job. That's why I was getting so frustrated. So some of the biggest highlights of the season came very early on when we beat both Valley and Hillsboro within the last minute and a half of the game when we were trailing. And then later on, we staged off a comeback by Park Hills by making a goal line stand as the seconds ran out. So these guys really showed, they went 7-1, but 3 of those games could have went either way if they weren't as mentally tough as they were. We beat many teams who played sophomores, and our only loss once again was 14-7 against North County's almost fully sophomore team. So We don't really use that as an excuse, and they didn't. They said that didn't matter. But 14-7 against a bunch of sophomores was pretty respectable. We also won games by using 4 different quarterbacks. So we started 3 different quarterbacks at any given time in the year because of Mason got injured. But against Hillsboro, Spring Camper had to come in, so he's the 4th quarterback. And he actually threw a touchdown to Fleeman at the end of the game to win that game. So to win 7 games with 4 different guys is really impressive. And I don't think many teams can really do that. I want to say thank you to the offensive line because without you, that's not possible. Not even close. You can't put 4 different guys back there and win football games without a good offensive line. So you guys don't get thanked enough, and right now, that was you guys. I could go on and on about each individual player, but I never really like to do that much. These guys know it's team. But I do want to say a couple individual things. First off, we have 15 skill players. For those of you who don't really know what skill player is, so you have your offensive lines, your bigger guys, and your skills guys who get to touch the ball. We have 15 of them, and 13 of them scored points this year. So once again, that's something I'm really proud of them for. We tried our best in the last game to make it all 15. It just didn't work out. One of those 2 guys who didn't score was Gabe Willard, and he's not here tonight. And actually, I just found out, Coach Bonnell found out a little bit ago, he actually played on a broken ankle for like 4 games, so pretty tough kid. But anyway, there were multiple times I was going to put him in throughout the season to score, and he said, "No, Coach, get someone else in the end zone." That reminded me a lot of last season. I don't know if he's here, but Noah Burr, we were playing Park Hills, and he said, I asked him if he wanted to score because I knew we could beat him outside, and he said, "No, Coach, I know I can score, but Hogan Miller's doing a good job running. Just keep running it. All I want to do and all I care about is to win the game." And for that kid, if you know him at all, that says a lot because he always wants the ball. But it's these types of players and that type of attitude that I want on my football team. Guys who are just selfless towards each other and understand that one guy's success is all of our success. That's how a lot of these guys are. There are many on this team who have a great shot at starting varsity next year. And sophomores and juniors, don't take the spot that you had this year for granted because these guys are coming. And whoever decides to work harder is going to be the one who gets to play. I can beg and plead for all you guys to get into the weight room, but it's going to take you guys getting each other in there and getting big and strong and having fun doing it. You guys love to have fun. All you have to do is get in there and keep having fun. You're going to get big and strong doing it. I talked to Dale Probst before the last game down in Kennon. I said, every time things start getting tough, think about those last moments after every season where we're all huddled up one last time and people are crying because it's over. Think about that while you're playing and do something about it. Think about that while you're in the weight room and do something about it because I'm tired of crying, all right? I want to be cheering at the end of a football season. And these next couple of years, all you guys can do that. Everyone in this room believes you can do that, but it's not just going to happen on its own. It's going to happen because you guys are going to decide it's going to happen. So I just want to say, lastly, thank you for letting me be a part of this program that I and so many others are proud of.
Okay. Coach Schwent is too humble to mention their only loss this year was to a team that was it was a freshman game for us, but it was a freshman sophomore for the other team, and we counted throughout the course of the game, and it was basically our freshmen playing their sophomores, and that's a Class 4 school playing sophomores against our freshmen, and we lost by 5. Is that what it was? Lost by 7. So that was the one loss they did have. They had a great season. We did not have a JV season this year because of lack of numbers. We were very heavy at the freshman level with, I think, 26 freshmen or so, and then the rest of the guys played varsity. So all 3 of our remaining football coaches are going to do a little bit of talking about the individual kids. We're going to start with Coach Rapp, and then go to Coach Wyke, and then go to Coach Bosler, and then I'll come back up and introduce our cheer coaches.
All right, bear with me. I got to do my best Coach Wyke impression. So, as Nick stated, unfortunately, given the way this year has been, you just never know. And he cannot make it here tonight, so he kind of put me in charge of filling his place. And I'm not as good with words as he is, but I'm going to give it my best. Along with him and the rest of the varsity coaches, we did want to thank the parents. Up until I took a coaching position, I had no idea what was all involved and how much you relied upon you guys. And without your support, we wouldn't have been able to do this. And more than ever this year, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So I don't know if you want to give yourself a round of applause, but we definitely needed you guys, and you guys came through for sure. The rest, anybody else that ever helped us throughout the season with the chain gangs, that's appreciative. Rabbit, the Herald, we appreciate all the effort you guys put in to help give recognition to our boys that is much deserved after all the hard work they done. This is kind of awkward reading this to myself and Coach Wyke and Bosler, but Coach Wyke says, I want to start by giving a special thanks to all the coaches in our program. I truly believe the reason we have success is because of the relationship that these young men have with our football players. Each one of these guys have created the bond with this team in a way that only the athletes and coaches can truly give. I know how important this is because I get to see it firsthand every day. Thank you, coaches, for this commitment, and thank you, players, for trusting this group of coaches and believing in what they are doing for you. And I'd like to thank Coach Wyke because he's one of the best that I've been around in my short time, and he's just a great individual, always has the best interest in the kids. All right, first one up, we're going to talk about the managers. Is Mariah here tonight? She's not. Basically, Mariah had a tough job this year with dealing with everything, especially keeping the rest of the other boys in line. But just having the extra precautions that we had along with the water bottles, she always had her hands full, and making sure some of these guys I'm about ready to name were doing their job on the sideline or paying attention. Will Vaughn, is he here? Cole Roman? Nope. It's Tyler Rance here. Logan Trollinger. Like Coach Wyke said, these guys didn't set out to be managers for us this year, but unfortunately they were not cleared to play this year. I think it says a lot for their character and that all of them wanted to stay involved with this team in some way. And I know it wasn't easy watching your buddies do something that you couldn't do, but we appreciate the help and support that you gave us all this year. All right, next up is a little freshie, Bryant Schwent. Bryant came into the season as a freshman wideout and D-back and worked his way into varsity, all-conference and all-regional kicker. He finished the season making 33 of 35 PATs and was 1 for 1 in field goals. But his best accomplishment was his ability to place the ball anywhere we needed on kickoffs, and I know Bryant will be even better next year because he has a tremendous work ethic and a great desire to be perfect. As Coach Nick stated earlier, Coach Wyke and I took care of our offense and defensive line. That was our area of interest. because we were very limited in those numbers, I think I counted we only had 12, give or take, throughout the year, linemen total. We weren't able to have a JV season, which also meant that a lot of these guys had varsity playing time, and a lot of them started at one point or another. Coach Wyke and myself really emphasized the lineman mentality throughout the season. We wanted to emphasize as far as linemen are part of the team, but their own unit of the team. A lot of times these guys don't get a lot of credit. Sometimes they get a lot of blame. Some of it deserved, some of it not. But we kind of took these guys after our first 3 games this year and took them to the side and kind of had our own warm-ups, our own time to kind of help create a bond, and I think it helped. You could see them throughout the year become more confident individuals. Dale would be a good example of one of those kids. At the beginning of the year, a lot of these guys were real shy. At the end of the year, Dale was a fine leader. Burr, those guys grew as the season went on. And as Coach and I reflected upon at the end of the season, we couldn't think of a time in practice where these guys didn't give it their all for us. And as a coach, that's all you want, all right? So as I call these guys' names out, make sure you give them a big round of applause for them and make sure that they feel appreciated. Paul Aarons. Eli Holyfield. Jordan Jacob. Thomas PQ. Cole Foff. Ryan Schmelsley. Matthew Schmidt. Landon Thompson. Dale Probst. Special note with Dale, to say he gave it all season would be an understatement. He rarely came off the field, but Dale managed to work his way to being an all-conference first-team lineman on both offense and defense, and he was also voted as the defensive line MVP for our conference this year as a junior. So give him a round of applause for that. And last but definitely not least, Zach Burr. Coach Wyke wanted Zach to know, I noticed a change in Zach this past summer when we were allowed to open up the weight room. He was a lot more focused, and he started putting more weight on the bar each day. He had his brother with him every day, and he not only would help Carter by showing him what to do and how to do it, but he also pushed him to challenge himself to get better. In short, Zach became a leader, and I am as proud of that as I am anything Zach has done on the field for us this season. Zach worked his way into starting on the offense and defensive lines for us. We like to platoon linemen, especially early in the season, until they get in shape, so we decided to keep Zach on offense the whole game and move him and out on defensive end. He started as center, then made a smooth transition to guard, earning all conference honors as an offensive lineman this season. Congratulations to Zach, and thank you for being a leader and a role model for our younger linemen. And with that said, I'll follow up with Coach Schwent said. Everybody except for Burr is going to be back next year. And so if you don't know where the weight room is, you know where all of us coaches are. You can come ask us, and I'll make sure I'll walk you down there and show you where that's at, Will. That's all I got. Thanks, guys.
I'm going to make these guys. All right, I'm going to make these guys stay up here because we are a team. Get back up here. It's a football team, not a lineman and a skill guy team. All right, first, I've got a few young men. They did not play a lot of varsity, but it takes a lot to make a successful football team, and they were at practice every day helping us, and we look forward to what they can do for us in the future. Carter Burr. Noah Burr. Come on down, I'll move back. Jaden Reinhardt. Aiden Trilinger. And Tanner Weiler. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I call the defense. I'm back here behind Will. He's really tall. The next guys I'd like to talk about are my defensive skill guys. Defense is a thankless job. You're out there punishing yourself, but we have to get the job done. I ask a lot of these young men, and they stepped up repeatedly with games in the line. We're going to start with Anthony Nash. Nash had 39 solo tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Both of those stats on the same poor Perryville quarterback. Anthony has played for the last 2 years. He helped us some last year at corner, but played a much bigger role at outside linebacker this year. As you can see, and you're going to see that a lot from our linebackers, he does not fit the normal size that you're used to seeing. But he played bigger, and he would always let you know about it. It is a tough job on defense to protect the edge, but Nash never backed down from it and will be a hard man to replace. Next, Landon Rose. On the year, Laney had 23 solo tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and probably the most nicknames on the team. First-year player, Landon started every game at corner for us. I don't know if I've had that happen before, a kid not play football before, come out as a senior year, and start every single game. Not the fastest kid on the team, but made up for it with maximum effort on every play. Landon, again, is going to be hard to replace. Jaden Lee. Whoa, yeah, go ahead. C. Lee had 7 solo tackles and 1 interception returned for a touchdown. Chayton last played as a freshman and helped us out as safety and corner wherever I needed him this year. He played a great role in special teams, and I'll remember when he sealed the game for us against Potosi with his interception returned for a touchdown, about 70 yards. That's it for my seniors. Next up, Jacob Johns. JJ led the team with tackles, 56 solo, 13 assists, 2 sacks, and 12 of those tackles for loss. Jacob started every game at inside linebacker, all 150 pounds of him, as a sophomore. Not an easy task. He developed into a great leader on the field. He is one of the smartest young men I've ever had the pleasure to coach, and we look forward to what he can do for us in the future, like maybe 20 more pounds of muscle. Lastly, Clayton Squires. Clayton had 36 tackles, 9 assists, and 1 interception. Clayton played all over on both sides of the ball for us. He played some wide receiver, some running back, inside linebacker, outside linebacker, and defensive back. Besides the big guys up here, that's pretty much every position. A hardworking kid with a love of football. Clayton is another one we know has a bright future on this team.
You can just scoot down, wrap around. All right, real quickly, I want to get my thank yous out of the way here. I want to thank everyone who played a part in this year's season. To you parents, to our wives for letting us do what we do, our administration for standing behind us throughout the year, and to everybody who helps on Friday nights with our program and to make it successful. I also want to thank the freshmen. You know, we only have, I think we had like 27 guys this year, sophomores through seniors. So there towards the end of the season, we had some of those freshmen come up and play scout team offense for us. And I know I wouldn't want to do that, just getting pounded by our starting defense every day. But some of those guys would come up and help us out, and we appreciate that. And those guys are going to be an impressive group these next 3 years, so we're excited about them. When looking at the offense this year, we really had some guys step up and fill some key roles for us. We had to mix in some guys at the receiver position throughout the year due to some injuries along the way, but those guys stepped in and did a great job filling those roles week to week. The great thing about having a young football team, which we did, those guys are going to come back and they got all that experience playing varsity football, and they're going to have a better understanding of the offense and what we want to do come next year. These upcoming groups can be something special for us, but like we told these guys at the end of the year, they've got to put in the work in the off season and get in the weight room and get stronger. These guys have a great work ethic, and I think they will do exactly that. I'm going to introduce most of our skill guys. I think we got 6 or 7 guys. First, I want to start off with Aiden Boyer. Aiden started in all 9 games for us this year at the quarterback position. He started the year a little timid and unsure of himself, which is understandable for a sophomore quarterback. But Aiden had a lot of potential, and I knew he was going to get settled in after he got a few games under his belt, and he did just that. 9 games, he had 1,609 yards passing with a 45% completion rate and 16 passing touchdowns. He also rushed the ball 78 times for 466 yards and 8 touchdowns. Just by looking at his stats, he can throw and run the football, which is going to make him a very tough to defend. Aiden grew so much as a player and a leader of our offense from the beginning of the year to the end. This kid's going to be something special over these next 2 years, and we're excited about what he can accomplish these next 2 years. Next 3 years. No, 2 years, junior, senior. Next up, Zach Boyer. Zach basically only played in 6 games for us this year due to an injury during the first couple series of the Potosi game after he scored 2 touchdowns on 2 catches. Zach has what I call the it factor. We want to try and get him the ball because usually good things happen when he has it. Zach had 28 receptions on the year for 584 yards and 6 touchdowns and averaged a team-high 84 yards per game. He also rushed the ball 24 times for 197 yards and 5 touchdowns. Zach's only a junior, so we get another year to see what he can do and expect big things out of him. Peyton Matthews. Peyton had one heck of a senior year for us at the receiver position, just kind of like I knew he could. He has sure hands and is our best route runner and has a great understanding of the game. In the 3 years that I've been around him, he has progressed tremendously as a player and a leader. Peyton led the team in receiving with 21 catches for 587 yards and 8 touchdowns. He averaged 65 yards per game, and I'm assuming, actually I know, he's got a school and also a state record with the longest touchdown pass of 99 yards against Kennett that last game. So that's a pretty good accomplishment. And I don't think it's going to get any longer than that, so I think it'll stay in the record books for quite a while. He will be missed, and I know he's going to do some great things in the future in whatever he does. Brett Bieser. Brett was a great leader for us and would do anything asked of him, and he's probably one of the toughest kids I know. He's been battling shoulder injury for most of the season, and in the Park Hills game, his shoulder popped out and was basically told the healing process was going to be 3 months. 3 weeks later, he was going to play in the DeSoto game, but unfortunately it was canceled. Brett pretty well did it all for us. He played the tight end position, also did a great job as a receiver. He had 14 receptions for 237 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was a very unselfish player and did whatever the team needed him to do. Brett was one of those kids that bought into the process and worked extremely hard in the offseason to get stronger. Brett will be missed, and I wish him the best of luck in whatever he does. Caden Biet. Caden was quite a pleasant surprise for us this year. He worked extremely hard to secure that other starting spot as receiver. He didn't have a lot of receptions, but he did a tremendous job at the tight end position also. We liked having him and Brett come in and get more blockers in the box, and they did a great job of doing so. Caden did have 3 receptions for 103 yards and 1 touchdown. Caden is also another kid that loves being in the weight room, and this is going to help him to excel next season. We're excited to have him back next year and see what he can do. And then Austin Mcbride. Austin pretty well carried the load for us at the running back position and did a good job. The one thing I love about Austin is his downhill style of running the ball and looking to punish you on every carry. Austin had 95 carries for 460 yards and 4 touchdowns. He averaged 58 yards a game and didn't have any fumbles, which is impressive. I expect Austin to put in the work this offseason to become one of those leaders next year. Before I turn this over to Ryan, I just want to thank all you seniors for everything you've done for this program. I wish all of you the best of luck in whatever you do in the future. You all are going to be greatly missed. I think you guys set a great example for those juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. And we hope to see you guys back in the future for some football games. So we appreciate everything you guys have done for us, so thank you guys.
You guys can sit down. All right, I'm going to finish this up here with the Postseason Awards. So we have several all-conference players this year. Gentlemen, when I call your name, just stand up and be recognized, and everybody just please hold your applause. Let me get through everybody, okay? Starting on offense, Peyton Matthews, first-team wide receiver. Zach Boyer, first-team flex. Dale Probst, first-team offensive line. Brett Bieser was our first-team punter. Aiden Boyer, second-team quarterback. And Thomas Piku was second-team O-line. There's your all-conference offense. For defense, we have Brett Bieser was a first-team linebacker. Clayton Squires was our first-team defensive back. Dale Probst, first-team defensive end, and as Coach Rapp said, he was the D lineman of the year. Jacob Johns, second-team linebacker. Laney Rose was a second-team defensive back. And Bryant Schwent was a first-team all-conference kicker as a freshman. We also had some all-region honors. Again, please hold your applause. Zach Boyer was a flex. Peyton Matthews at wide receiver. Dale Probst at defensive end. Aiden Boyer at quarterback. Brett Bieser at linebacker. Jacob Johns as linebacker. And Bryant Schwent as kicker. Lastly, I have our team awards. The kids all vote on this at the end of the season. They're meant to represent each player in each position. Our team offensive lineman, Dale Probst. You're going to get some hardware, Dale. Team defensive lineman, Dale Probst. Offensive skill player, Zach Boyer. Defensive skill player, Brett Bieser. Special teams player of the year, Bryant Schwent. Our Hustle Award, Dale Probst. The offensive MVP voted by his peers was Zach Boyer. And our defensive MVP, Jacob Johns. Thank you.
All right, great job, football players. Football team ended up with a 4-5 record, and we could say this till the cows come home, but I think a lot of people in this room know that it's almost a fact, I guess, that the two games that we did not get to play because of COVID, we were heavy favorites in those games, which would have made us 6-5. And if these guys had a better athletic director and didn't schedule Festus, Valley, and Kennett the first three games of the year, it would have started out a little bit better too. But they did a great job. Started out 0-3, and then ended up being 4-5, and probably would have been 6-5 had COVID not messed it up like it messes everything up. We're going to end the night talking about cheer. Are both of you going to talk, or just Coach Dallas? Okay. So Coach Dallas is going to come up and talk about our cheer team and the season they had, and we appreciate them supporting the football team just like the Emeralds. And Coach Dallas, you're up. Best for last, right?
Hopefully not the longest. Okay, As you know, I'm Shelly Dallas, and my head cheer coach is Ashley Weiner. She's the assistant coach. And I want to start off by saying that this was our best season ever. These kids are wonderful to work with. They've hit stunts that we've never hit before we even started this season. They've all worked hard. It's hard to talk about each one individually because I get emotional, and they all work hard and are very good at what they do. This summer we had SEMO come up and work with us, and we had a lot of fun doing it. I watched them excel in stunting, excel in all their techniques. Their jumps have gotten better. I want to say thank you to my assistant coach, Ashley. I enjoy working with her, and we've become great friends. She pushes the team to be the best they can be, and she's great to work with. I also want to thank Dr. Nix. Yes, I said Dr. Nix. Congratulations, Dr. Nix. It's hard to remember to call him doctor. He continues to put up with my constant interruptions and questions, and I'm always asking and bothering him for things, but he continues to support us as well as all the other teams. He does a lot of work behind the scenes that you guys don't know that he does to make everything work for our athletes. I also want to thank the parents and all the support that they've given us through this year. They have been great. You guys come to the games. You guys bring them to practices when they need to be there. We also had Mr. and Mrs. Johns bringing us many, many bottles of water in the cooler, and that is very much appreciated. I want to thank Mr. Haney, Dr. Boyd, Ms. Henderson, and Ms. Dunn for putting up with me and all my coaching duties. Mostly I want to thank my husband, Danny, who's always fixing supper and doing the laundry because I'm so busy. Then there's the Emeralds. We worked together with them, and we had so much fun. I want to thank them for opening up to us and joining us. You might have noticed sometimes we were doing the same cheer or we were doing things together. That was wonderful, and I hope that the cheer team and the Emeralds team continue to be close. We tried to work it out that we could do a dance together, but it just didn't work out. We're always so busy, but we're going to try again. Okay, we're going to start with our manager. Is Julie here today? Okay. Ona Lytle. Ona wanted to be involved as much as possible. We just don't have a lot for the managers to do, but she was always at all our practices and at every game that we asked her to be at. She helped a lot with getting signs ready for the crowd, and we really appreciate all the help that she's been for our team. Next, we have freshman Sophia DeRouche. Sophia, she's so quiet that other than the chants, I think I can count the words that she spoke to me on one hand. She never talks back, because I don't know if she talks, but she works really hard and will practice on her own and has improved in all the aspects of cheer. We look forward to having her on our team each season. Our next freshman is Elena Shamel. Sorry. How do you say it? Sorry, Elena. She's quiet too, but she has said a few more words than Sophia. We decided that Elena was going to be a flyer. Unlucky for her. She didn't look like she was sure she wanted to do it, but then we dropped her. But she was brave enough to let us throw her back up again. She will be a great addition in the future, and she's turned out to be a great flyer. Our only sophomore, is Kylie Przgoda. I always butcher her name, and she gets really frustrated. Kylie's love of life is contagious. No matter what we do, she always wants to have fun doing it. She makes you smile with all of her antics and is fun to work with. She's become a strong cheerleader as well. Juniors, Molly Bell. Molly is a positive person and will point out many positive points as we work on things. She's willing to help others and help us without even being asked. She's a great asset to the team, and she's grown into a strong cheerleader and flyer, too, because we put her up in some stunts this year. Haley DiMercurio. Haley is always smiling and has good ideas that she's willing to share. She's willing to learn new things on her own. We're bringing them back to the team, and we really like that. She's always willing to help out, and I enjoy having her on the team. Gracie Hebb. Gracie has gotten a lot stronger this year. It's fun to watch Gracie as she succeeds in her accomplishments. Her strength has helped her improve in her jumps this year, and we all like her on the team. Isabella Neal. Isabella loves to cheer. It's impossible to miss that. She loves to try new things. She loves to challenge herself and others, and she always wants to improve. There's nothing she won't try, and she's a joy to coach. Chloe Walker, she's not here today. So we move on to our seniors. I don't want to say goodbye to some of my seniors. Sorry. Like I said, this is hard because I get emotional. But they have to move on. Some of them didn't join us for this season, and that's okay. I understand. Hunter is not here, but he was a very good cheerleader. He was able to do the one-man stunt this year with Bella, and we all got very excited. He even got to the extension. For us, the one man is where he throws a girl in the air and catches her and then extends her into the air. Even though the SEMO coach wanted him to go to SEMO, he has decided to go to Rankin College. We wish him well and know he will accomplish whatever he puts his mind to. Wish we could have him for another season. Tristan Orini. Tristan was one of our leaders this year, and she did a great job. She led by example, was dependable and dedicated. She was really good at pointing out things to me without hurting the team, like a good leader would do. She was willing to learn things on her own. She's going to do great things in life because of her work ethic. She works very hard. I wish she would be here with us for another season, but she's decided to do other things. The last two seniors I will have for another season. Emma Johns. Emma is always having fun too. She works hard and tries to keep up with the rest of the team on task, and sometimes it works. Emma has really stepped up with stunning this season, and we look forward to having her in basketball season. That decision was very hard for her, Coach Bonnell. Please don't take it personally. We're sorry. Okay, Soraya Zerwig. Soraya was another one of our leaders, and she did a great job. She was dependable and dedicated, would learn things on her own as well. She would always find a nice way to convey to me when she disagreed, and it really was for the benefit of the team because I'm not always right. I think I am. I'm glad to have her for another season. Now for the awards. Most Improved, Elena Schammel. Elena, how do you say your name? How do you say your name? Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Schammel. Best Technique Award, Soraya Zerwig. The Best Jumps Award was Hunter, but he's not here tonight. Hardest Worker Award, this one's really hard because I feel like each and every one of you work really hard, but we are giving it to Haley DeMercurio. Our award for cheerleader is someone who has positive attitude, commitment, dedication, compromises, follow rules, and gets along with others is Isabella Neal. That one was voted on by the team, as well as the Spirit Award. This goes to someone who's enthusiastic, jumps, smiles during the games, positive, gets along with others, and really cheers on the team. This goes to Emma Johns. This year, I want to thank the cheerleaders, the managers, for being so great to work with. This has been a wonderful season, and I look forward to watching you all become great adults and looking forward to the next season. Thank you.
All right, great job, cheerleaders. Just a few things before we leave this evening. Going to do a 50-50 drawing here in a second. We actually drew it already. We'll announce the winner. We'll pull out the banner raffle and pick winners for that. And if you were, so football players, if you were an award winner tonight, so you got special teams or offensive player, any plaque or medal tonight, cheer as well, and emeralds as well if you got a plaque or a medal tonight, or if you are all conference, all district, all region, if your name is on the back of the program or you got an award tonight, stick around, don't leave, Eric Vaccaro from the Herald is going to take your picture out in the lobby area over when you exit these doors over to the left. So stick around. Don't take off until Mr. Vaccaro can get your picture for the paper. All right, with that being said, the 50-50 winner, it is $33, I believe, is what it was. $33. Bring your ticket with you, and you can just come up afterward if you don't want to come up in front of everybody. 782-369. 782-369 is the winner. I didn't hear any woohoos. There you go. There's the woohoo. All right. All right. Did I hear a donate it back? Mandy, thank you very much. You donated that back. Thank you. Sports Boosters greatly appreciate you. All right, banner winners. If you won the banner, just grab it on your way out. It should still be out there where it was when you came in this evening. We'll start with the Emeralds banner. And lucky winner of that banner is Carissa Holst. The cheer banner. Winner cheer banner is Molly Bell. Grab that on your way out, Molly. And the football banner. There's a lot more in here. It won't be Coy Fleeg this year. He won that thing like every single year that he played football. Peyton Matthews. Thank you for coming, guys. Drive home safely and just be safe in general. Thank you so much.